first and foremost, just to start off, Coach Bloom talked about as a defense, how we held UTSA to like the least amount of passing yards. None of that would have been possible without the great D-line play that we had. Those guys work so hard every single day. I always look over there at them. When we're kind of off to the side, if you're not on a special teams unit while special teams is going, you look at the D-line and they're working hard. And that showed on Saturday. I think they had 8 negative yardage plays. And that makes our job easy on the back end. Also, Coach spoke about some of the young guys stepping up big. Prudy Calderon and Trayshawn Chamberlain had huge games, on their first career starts. So, I've already told those guys, super proud of them. And it was great to see those guys step up big and play the way they did. And it was exciting as a defense to see how we played. But one thing that we're going to stand by is they're not in until they're in. And with the situations that we were given, we gave up points, and we can't do that going forward. So we had a good night, but at the end of the day, we would like to keep them out of the end zone, regardless of where they got the ball or what the situation is. But I'm proud of how we played it on Saturday. It was we took a great step forward. Coach said the way we played in the second half against Wake on defense, Coach Smith said we played great. Took another step against UTSA. We look this week to keep that positive uptrend moving forward.
Was Saturday's performance, was that more of a confidence builder, or was it more a sense of, hey, this is what we sort of expected out of ourselves initially, we sort of want to perform regularly?
I think it was something more along the lines of, when everybody is doing their 111 and what they doing their job, this is what happens. And we knew that we were capable of doing that. It just finally came all together as one, everybody doing their job, us holding up on the back end, the D-line getting that pressure, So, it definitely was a confidence boost. It was good for us as a defense to see and to know that, we're capable of doing that. But, we knew we could do that. We just had to do our jobs and everybody do their jobs in unison, rather than, just one guy doing his job now and, somebody else doing something else. Just basically trusting in what Coach Smith has taught us on the defense and doing our 111.
And then sometimes you see offenses getting the flow of things, getting the rhythm. Defensively, did you feel that on Saturday at all?
I think so. Yeah. We as we stepped out onto the field, every time we went on defense, it felt good. You felt like, all right, as a back end, we felt like they were gonna keep continuing to try us and throw the ball, and it just felt comfortable. You knew that the D-line was playing as well as they were, so they were going to get that pressure on the quarterback. They were going to stop the run. So it definitely felt like a good rhythm. It was a good feeling, it definitely felt like we were getting into that and into a rhythm. And so that's something that is always good, and we look to kind of keep that going forward, of course.
Coach had mentioned you spoke up in the locker room. I don't reveal any secrets, but can you kind of talk about the nature of what you and the guys said after?
Just that being at Rice, Austin spoke on it earlier. We haven't been to a bowl in the time that I've been here. So this situation that we're in, we've been down before, and I said it last week, said it the week before. The only way to get out of this type of situation is to work. The only thing for ways to get better is to work. And so I told those guys, if you're thinking about checking out, don't show up to practice, because we have a lot of football left to play. We could turn the season around starting this week, and with that being said, come to practice starting yesterday, ready to work. That's the approach that everybody came with to practice yesterday, is that mindset of getting this thing turned around. I told everybody, we kind of got to draw a line in the sand and be like, this is it. This is the turning point. This is when we have to start imposing our will rather than letting it be imposed on us.
I remember another certain cornerback, I won't mention who played for Rice football, who did the same thing, and it turned their season around that year. What is it you think will do it for you guys besides your speech? What do you think needs to be done on the field based on how the defense played last week, but against UAB, a team that relies heavily on the run?
I think that trusting the coaching that is given to us, going into, days like today where we're gonna get the game plan, we're gonna figure out everything, we're gonna look at their offense, we're gonna see what coach wants us to do as a defense in order to stop the run, and trusting in the technique that we have been taught since last spring when, our coaches came in, just that's one of the big parts about it, and that's one of the things that, I talked to, the linebackers and the D-line and stuff. I mean, that's going to be a big part of the run is the D-line and the linebackers. But they say that, when things are coming easy for them, they look back and it's all on their technique. They when they're playing their best, their hands are in the right place, their feet are moving in the right spots, they're in the right places at the right time. So I mean, as far as stopping the run against a team like UAB, who's going to have a tremendous run game, technique and trusting the system and doing your particular job, being in the place where you're supposed to be at that specific time, things like that are going to be huge. And then of course, one thing that just kind of goes with football is we're going to have to be physical. We're going to have to be more physical than they are every snap, play in and play out. And against a team like UAB, it happened to us last year. If you're not, you're going to get that result of them running the ball, like Coach said, down your throat, play in and play out. Because, that's what they do. They're a physical football team. So we have to be more physical than they are, and we have to do our 111 and trust our technique every play.